It's the final Sunday of Jazz Fest, and we're making sure the folks who are attending the fest know that Shell Oil Company, even though it's great they're sponsoring the festival, they have a huge legacy of destruction in our coastal wetlands, and we feel they're not being asked to pay a fair share of the cost of fixing those coastal wetlands.
Shell Oil, long before they even started destroying the coast, was, they've had a bad corporate record all around the country. I mean, all around the world, wherever they do business. And what they've done to the coast here is a crime, and they greenwash and put on this happy face and act like they're helping us out so much. At the same time, they're doing more destruction than any one of us could do.
They really need to put their money to save the coast, that they pretty much was a part of destroying. We need the wetlands.
They spent a lot of money on lobbying against environmental legislation, so now they could spend a lot of money working for wetlands reconstruction. Well, because they're making a lot of money off of our coast, and they're not worried about us making the ultimate sacrifice of our land.
Events in New Orleans and through South Louisiana are not going to continue if there's no coast left. If we don't have protection from storms, and if we don't have protection from the erosion caused by 10,000 miles of oil field cutting through the wetlands of South Louisiana.
Well, they came in and they destroyed all the wetlands, and, look what happened. And I've seen it. Have you seen it? Have you been to Grand Isle? It's sad what they did. They should fix it. They're making lots of money, huh?
I really appreciate Jazz Fest, but when I hear somebody bring up Shell Oil, it makes me cringe. What a disconnect. Does anybody really understand what Shell represents? Have a good day.
When you go in there, America's wetlands are there. We have traced America's wetlands to Shell, and what's the sad part is that America's wetlands is a big player in this Coastal Protection Restoration Authority, this state body that's set up. They are a participating partner, so you're not going to hear anything about Shell's obligation to pay for the 10,000 miles of navigational channels and oil company canals and the erosion that has caused. Scientists say that it's up to 60% of the reason that we lose 35 to 50 square miles of our coastal zone a year. And there's America's wetlands inside the Jazz Fest putting out Save the Wetlands, and not hearing a word about the oil company canals playing an integral part in the whole coastal restoration in the state of Louisiana.
The oil companies like Shell, they always make profits every year, so I guess those profits that they've made, they decided instead of putting it back into the coast restoration, which they've pretty much demolished over the years, they're going to sponsor Jazz Fest. I understand Jazz Fest needs money to keep it going, but maybe that's why the ticket prices are high.
Since they came, I think the tickets are now $50, so I guess all the flags, they're passing the cost on to the customer. But no, it's a cheap PR stunt, which they put a little money in the efforts like this to make them look like the good guys, like they're putting on this wonderful thing for us, when in fact they've made us vulnerable to total annihilation every summer and fall.
Well, and I wish they would actually do some, take the money that they're making off, and instead of sponsoring things like music festivals, and actually work to help restore the wetlands. My family comes from around Lockport, and most of the area that my family comes from is gone. Coast is way too close to my front door these days.
We shouldn't be living under that kind of pressure. Why do anything when I know this might be destroyed, But it can be fixed, and they got the money to do it. And the pressure's on them, really, to do something quickly because their own infrastructure is washing away. They're protected by wetlands, too, and they're sitting out. They got open pipes that used to be underground, and waves are hitting them. And so talk about liability when they start filling the Gulf with oil. I think they're going to have to do something quick.
My pension fund is invested in Shell, and I feel like it's blood money, and I wish they was invested in anything else. What was the profits last year? This first quarter, $7 billion. Shell Oil, I think Shell Oil should be outlawed, and that's not just because I worked on the oil fields in the 60s. They suck. Y'all have a good time.
You can't destroy this planet. Man, us folks here got to live and think about the generations to come. So let's get this thing real, man. We care about this planet. Go green, Shell. Go green, man. Do the right thing. Fix the wetlands, man. It's all real. They got the money. Don't be cheap.
They have an obligation to New Orleans to make it right, period.